Hello, welcome back to Heretic Owl Tarot. My name is Liz, and I will be guiding you on this journey today, as always. You know, um, so the last couple, I don't know, how long has it been? Like the last couple months, the last couple readings, I've really only been focusing on the human design profile readings because I felt guided, to focus mainly on those. And so, that's what I've been doing. But I am feeling like avoidant, I guess, of my own life. And I'm like, I could, I was sitting here, I'm like, I could like, do some tarot readings. Because what better way to like avoid yourself than to like talk to your friends and like get nosy into like their business and like, like what's going on with you guys. Right. And I'm like, what? I want to do zodiac sign readings because I literally just put out, I think I finished on Saturday, maybe like I finished the human design readings. So I didn't want to like do another round of those like quite yet. So anyway, that's what we're doing. I hope you're all doing well. I hope your anxiety is staying at bay. Like mine is high as hell today, and it has been for a little while. It just, I'm not going to bore you with my problems. I'm here to like talk about you. So let me introduce the decks to you, and also like I'm so glad that this tarot deck was happy to do this reading because I just was also not really in the mood to to like go through a bunch of decks to figure out like which one wanted to do the reading, because over here consent is everything, and anytime I use a deck for a reading, I did get consent from it to do it. Like, and what that means is I'll shuffle the cards until a card comes out, and it's a yes or no card, and it's plainly yes or no. It's usually like the Eight of Swords or the Three of Swords or the Tower, or like something that's like kind of plainly I am not in the mood, the Five of Cups. And then of course, on the other end of things, it would be yes cards. And the card that came out for this deck, which is the Midnight Magic mushroom deck, was the Empress, which was so perfect. And I was just so glad. Like I was like standing over at my wall of tarot cards because, oh my God, girl, like I counted them. I have like 70 tarot. I just have to stop. I like have to stop buying tarot decks. Although like I just found this Kickstarter. Anyway, after that one, no more. So anyway, yeah, like I was standing there and I was just like, oh my gosh, I just don't feel like, because usually like the one that I have in my head is not usually the one that I'll end up using. I'll like grab a couple and shuffle and, see who actually wants to do the reading. But this one caught my eye. And then I also bought it at the same time that I bought the Mushroom Spirit Oracle. So just goes together really well. And I'm so happy to be able to use these decks because I haven't yet. I've had them for a couple months. I actually used it for one of the 333 readings that I did, which was also like, it was so beautiful. Those readings have been so cool. And again, thank you to those who have trusted me with that. But yeah, and I even, like I said, in that person's written, thing, I was like, oh my God, I haven't even been able to use this for anybody yet. So I was glad that, I'm glad to be able to use it. My only thing of disappointment is that I don't think this Midnight Magic deck has any psychedelic mushrooms in it or any psilocybin mushrooms in it, which is honestly disappointing to me. Just because of like the healing qualities of psilocybin mushrooms. Like I've been using psilocybin mushrooms for the last year as a form of wellness. And I mean, truly, I think that incorporating them in my own, like healing journey has just amplified it. And I don't think I would be where I am today if not for mushrooms. Like I've had so many amazing breakthroughs and aha moments, and which sure it might have happened anyway, but however, the mushroom spirit oracle does have golden teachers in it, at least. So there's at least one. But anyway, not that, whatever, I mean, it is what it is. I wasn't expecting like the whole deck to be, specific to that. That wasn't an expectation, but I did honestly kind of expect for there to be some in there, but what are you going to do? They're beautiful cards either way. And I'm just mumbling now. So, let's get into, is there anything else I don't think so. Let's get into your readings. Great. So this is the reading for Aquarius. Wherever Aquarius is in your chart, I hope you're all doing well. Let's see what oracle card we got for you. Oop, that is too many for Aquarius. For Aquarius. What's the oracle card for Aquarius? Parrot wax cap, isolation. Interesting. I don't think I have I? I don't know. I was going to say, I don't think I've seen that one yet. All right. What do we have for Aquarius? Okay. We have the Hanged Man. Interesting. Reversed. I don't know if I said that. For Aquarius. Four of Pentacles, one more. Ooh, interesting. The Sun card. The Six of Cups at the bottom of the deck. Okay, let's read about the Parrot wax cup. It is edible, but not advised due to its slimy texture and can also cause gastrointestinal upset. Blech. The Parrot wax cap is a striking slimy green mushroom that can be found growing in autumn along roadside verges and cropped grasslands. It prefers untampered, acidic, or neutral soil grassland and may also grow in association with moss. Often found in lawns for centuries, it is widespread across the UK and likes to be left alone, so it can be found in places that have little thoroughfare. These mushrooms have no lookalikes, so cannot be easily misidentified. Interesting. The parrot wax cap likes to be left alone, and it's easy to understand why. Isolation can be a good thing. Left untouched by population, noise, and people, it grows well. So can you if you're left to your own devices. You are capable of growth without all the things. What you thought you needed to survive might not actually be necessary. You would be surprised how little you really need at all. Sometimes stripping your life down to the bare necessities can show you how you have been living way beyond your means. Isolation can also be a good thing to clear your mind and strip yourself down to basics. You will be able to hear your own thoughts again without the constant bombardment of sound, people, and energy. When you need peace in your life, sometimes you need to extricate yourself from this situation. Finding peace is so much easier when you have isolated yourself and attend to what you really need. Sometimes peace and simplicity bring the greatest rewards. If, on the other hand, you are feeling isolated and not in a good place, ask yourself, what do I need? What is it that really sustains me and makes me happy? It's time to ask the tough questions and really get real about it. Only you know what can make you happy, and it has to come from the inside. Addictions are often fueled by unhappiness. When you find something that makes your heart sing and makes you feel alive, you tend to not need your vices any longer. Yeah, I mean, I wonder if there's some sort of resistance to letting go of something. I mean, maybe you are in a period of isolation, and maybe that's not necessarily your choice in some way. Or even just something going on with the perception of that. Because the Hanged Man is about being able to see a different perspective. Your perception changing. It's delays, suspension. Also, anytime the Hanged Man shows up, it is a literal call out that there is a different way of perceiving something. There's a different way of looking at a situation, or it's just there's something that is mucking, the waters. It is a card of Neptune, and Neptune is about illusions, dreams. Again, just not necessarily seeing full picture, maybe even having blinders on or even rose-colored glasses as well. But yeah, I mean, with it being in the reverse, this almost even looks like bubbles, like coming up to the surface. And it's interesting that we have the Six of Cups at the bottom of the deck, because when I get the feeling of like bubbles coming to the surface, I literally feel it like in my gut. Which is interesting that even, that this card, the parrot wax cap, talks about gastrointestinal issues if you eat it. Because, like I said, like I'm kind of feeling the bubbles coming up from my gut. Which, there is the thing called bubble guts, right? Like if your stomach is upset. But I just wonder if there is just something coming up for you. And truly, like the reason why it would even be there is because the energy is available for you to face it, to look at it, to address it in whatever capacity, because again, like if you've had a certain perspective on it, however that is, like even going back to this isolation card, if you feel some sort of separation, if you do feel some sort of isolation, and if it's triggering something, again, it's like it's bubbling something, up to the surface. And this would also too like even mean like with the bubbling up to the surface, I'm like there would be some sort of like oxygen source there. Exhaling, breath work even can be a big thing for you right now. And we have the Four of Pentacles, which is like actually the card of like holding on to things too tightly. It's the card that creates the lack or the scarcity that happens in the Five of Pentacles. It's, pentacles have to do with our money, how we get it, how we save it, how we spend it, how much of it we have. It's our time and our energy. Where are we investing that? It's our physical health and our body. And the Four of Pentacles, it's like we don't want to like loosen our grip because we're like afraid that we're not going to recover what we're giving or what we're losing. Right? It's like there's a lot of discipline in the Four of Pentacles. Like there's a lot of, even budgeting as well. And it's like, that is all great and well until it kind of like crosses over into, again, like the scarcity mindset. And of course, we don't have the Five of Pentacles out here. It's like it's hoarding resources and materials. And I always like also kind of get an image of like a kinked hose as well. Because it's like it's cutting off the natural flow of things in an effort to control that flow of things, right? I mean, sometimes it is out of our control, right? If we're just pulling a hose and it just gets kinked somewhere. Sometimes we purposely do that so that we can control the flow of the water while we're like moving around or whatever, right? But every single time, though, we're like, we have to unkink the hose because we're trying to use it for a specific purpose, right? And that's kind of like how I see the Four of Pentacles. Like if you have been saving up money for a specific purpose, and you get the money to do that, and now you're like nervous about spending the money on that specific purpose, it's like you're almost like affecting the flow of the energy because your intention with saving that money was for the purpose of, a course or experience or a vacation or, like whatever. And then if you get to the point where it's like, oh, I really should save that money because times are tough. Oh my gosh, the fucking economy, like who knows what's going to happen with that, right? But you will recover. We know that because we have the Sun card here. I mean, like you will recover. It's also even too like blocking your blessings here. I want to read, because this is the king oyster, this is the golden oyster. So that's kind of interesting that we have two oysters here. The king oyster mushroom luxuriates in its secure and pristine spot. Its mycelium block. That must be like what this is. One fruiting body of this stout fungus has hoarded all the nutrients, a habit this card warns of, leaving little else for any developing mushrooms. While secure, it is for the most part alone, which is interesting with this isolation card. A death grip on important possessions can cause you to hunker down or bind you to a fixed spot. Here, insecurity flourishes. Release any desire to hoard, release any desire to hoard. Protect your things in healthier ways. It's a mindset, right? The golden oyster mushroom, a beautiful warm weather mushroom that smells of watermelons and tastes like cashews. Golden oyster mushrooms are like sunshine growing from decaying hardwood. Similarly, the sun card outshines any off and offsets any other negative cards in your divination spread. I hate when this book says that. Like, radiate your true, beautiful solar self with enthusiastic positivity, and positivity will shine brilliantly back to you. It says that for like a couple other cards, and it's like, I'm just not a fan of it, like totally poo-pooing, like, you know, potentially any other card around it just because it is perceived to be a positive card. But, you know, whatever, you know, that's mine. But like I said, you know, it can be something that, and especially, you know, this Four of Pentacles, it was talking about, you know, like hoarding nutrients so that other mushrooms can't grow. And that's, you know, even what I was saying about like controlling or like kinking energy so that it can't flow. This is even, you know, like I said, if it's a vacation, like this card even sounds like vacation to me, you know, sunshine, watermelon, cashews, you know, like it sounds like basking in the sun and reading a book, or, you know, listening to ocean waves and, you know, just the smell of that and just allowing yourself to relax. And also even just being so grateful that you were able to, you know, come up with or have the means in order to get there. And also trusting that you will be not rewarded, but like it will be refilled. Like, you know, I mean, the Sun card also sometimes talks about rebirth, life force energy, you know, like breathing, you know, life into something. It's the card of Leo. So, you know, I mean, it's your opposing, so, I mean, maybe you are an Aquarius sun as well, but, maybe this is even a decision that you kind of like made in Aquarius season where you were just like, I need a break. Or in Aquarius season, you made the decision to like kind of hunker down. But also, you know, the Six of Cups at the bottom of the deck, the Eight of Cups, Five of Swords, the Knight of Wands. The Six of Cups is the card of the past. And even like I said, right, with this like bubbling up thing, that looks like it's happening here with the Hanged Man. That would be, the bubbling up would be some past experience. And also, too, like something I heard about the Six of Cups recently, which is also why I love watching other tarot readers. Not only just for like myself, because I swear like I just can't read for myself anymore because I get too much in the way, you know. But somebody described it as familiarity. And I'm like, of course, familiarity, because that's what the past is, right? Like we have experience that we have gone through. We have feelings attached to those experiences. So there is a familiarity there that activates something, of course, on the emotional side of things, since we're talking cups. Because we can't really get around the Six of Cups as a card of the past or reminiscing, or again, you know, something that is familiar. And it could be triggering, you know, just something in you, or not triggering, but activating something in you where it's like all these little remembrance bubbles, because, like there's that whole, I hate to use the body keeps a score as an example, like anymore, because I think they found that guy was like kind of a creep. But in the sense of, like memories and experiences, and of course, the feelings that we associate to those things, like it does have a signature in our bodies. So like I said, with this hanged man, and especially with it being in the reverse, there is something where if you are being activated by a past feeling, and especially if it does have to do with some sort of isolation or change or separation of some sort, then it's a really good opportunity for you to look at that and be like, is that still true? Like I am feeling activated by this current experience that is reminding me of a past experience. But what is the lesson in that past experience? What can I gain from that? But also, is it still true? Why is it still in my body, right? Like why does my body still associate this thing with that feeling? Because you can change that. You can decide to not. Which I know it like sounds really pretty simplistic. But truly, it's having the awareness, and it is feeling that feeling. And it is, going through the process with yourself of, is that true for me now? And we can see with the Eight of Cups that you are making a decision to move away from. Not necessarily, well, I mean, it can be specific emotions, but it's recognizing that maybe there is an emotional activation here that is really no longer serving like your highest good. And if anything, it is creating this control and this, gripping too tight to something, to where it is affecting the flow of energy, the pressure, and it could even be making you feel like there's more pressure on you, because, like having a grip so tight, the pressure is just going to build up, right? When we go back to the hose analogy, it's not like the pressure just, like goes away. It stays there. And then when you unkink the hose, there's that rush of water until it like levels out again, right? The Eight of Cups is not only about making an emotional decision to move away from something, it's making a decision to move towards something that is more fulfilling, that has purpose. Because they're walking towards the Nine of Cups, which is wish fulfillment, having your needs met. Your cups being full, being able to manage full cups, And then the Five of Swords with the Sun card. I feel like it's like the thing that stops us all is our mindset, our beliefs. Again, our perspective. And with this being on the Sun card, even, the sun being literally a luminary, right? Like it illuminates whatever it touches, right? And it can be, like, for me, the Five of Swords is a battle of wits. There can be other people involved with the Five of Swords. There doesn't necessarily have to be. But, this could be like the back and forth that you're doing or have done in your head. It can be, of course, some sort of communication with other people. But I believe that it's like the sun is shining light on a mental process. And it could even be like one of the darker corners of your mind too. Because this is, let me see, the orange birch bullet. Like, let me just, battles fought valiantly, man, can still end in failure. The orange birch bullet is at the mercy of foragers and snails alike. Though its damaged flesh may turn black, accentuating sustained injuries, it continues to endure defiantly and glow with beautiful autumnal colors. Avoid being caught in a no-win situation. Not all battles need to be fought. Try to see the situation from all sides and learn to engage with partners as a team, not as enemies. I mean, I also just kind of feel like that's almost kind of like my my hose analogy, and again, even blocking blessings, and it's fighting for something, whatever it is, you know, future worry, uncertainty, that it's like, I saw this quote earlier that said, worrying is like worshiping the problem. And I'm like, holy shit. Oh, you know what, when things just like kind of hit you, that's what that did. Because, you know, I mean, there is some story here that, you know, whatever, it's like one of those things of like, whatever, you know, is in the dark, you know, there's a light being shown on it. It could be shadow work, of course, right? Because shadow work, you're bringing light to it. You're bringing awareness to it, and literally like loving and compassioning yourself. And also even like having a very understanding eye with where, you know, the story came from, or where, you know, this anxiety that's, or something that's like living in your gut, right? Because at some point in your past, there's something that maybe just startled you or scared you or something, and you felt it in your gut. And that's why, just energetically, that's where it bubbles up from. And then the Knight of Wands is, you know, adventure and curiosity and trying things. It's honestly, it's like being a bit more like carefree, not, you know, and it's funny because we have temperance behind it too. So it's like, this isn't saying to just go, you know, just go crazy, right? Like, it's not saying that, you know, because we have literally the card of balance here, but it is also too like finding your own balance between like work and play, between responsibility and rest, you know, like even figuring out ways to play and to have fun and to take yourself out of the hustle. And also, you know, what is the hustle for you? How do you want that to look? How do you want to approach that, right? There's a unique blend, and especially for Aquarius, right? Like, there's a unique blend for how that can manifest for you in your life. Beautiful. Beautiful. I'm going to leave it there. Thank you so much for allowing me to read your cards. I will talk to you soon. Bye.